And we're live. Tonight we have a VIASL tournament game. It's a quarterfinal game between Robert Stanley and Dave. Check the channel on. This is part of the VIASL 003 No Mirrors tournament. I just got eliminated from this tournament. Morpho, who is a very good player, took me out yesterday, I guess. Night. So Robert was 4-1 in the Swiss rounds. He currently sits as the second-ranked player in this tournament. His opponent Dave is the 7th-ranked player, 3-2. All the players in this tournament were very good. We had several national champions and the world champion. Daniel Taylor was also part of the tournament. So they rolled initiative to determine who gets to pick which faction. The rules of this tournament were basically didn't want any mirror matches, so one player would roll initiative and pick a faction, and then the second player would have to pick a different faction. So we submitted 3 lists each for the tournament. They didn't all have to be separate. They didn't have to be one rebel, one Imperial, and one mercenary, but you had to have at least 2 different factions represented in your 3 lists. I think everyone did submit 1 of each. Some of the lists are a little outdated. This tournament was bi-weekly, so it started 3 months ago now, so some of these lists are very outdated. So these guys are in Discord, so if we want to listen in on their conversation, we can join that Discord channel. I'm gonna join it and say hi.
With what's called. Hey, what's going on?
Not too much. I'm gonna sit in this channel, I guess, while I'm streaming your game. I'll have my mic muted so neither of you guys can hear it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
No problem with me.
Good luck, both of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So again,
oh man, the pressure. All right, let's see. Let me flip all these for you.
Turn their volume down a little.
There you go. That is my list. Onar, Greedo, Hera, Gideon, Jawa, IG, one set of Equays.
All right. And there's my list.
Sweet, Drakata. I was so sad, man. I was almost going to bring Ahsoka to that. We had a regional just this last weekend. I was going to bring Ahsoka, but I was like, oh no, a bunch of people are going to be playing her. But there wasn't a single one. Not a single Ahsoka. She looks so fun to play with.
I like her.
Yeah. She's scary too, man. That's long range. What do we got? 7 acts each. I am gonna go ahead and grab this bottom side from where we're looking at it now.
Okay.
I'll leave you the pond up top.
All right.
Just gonna get this layout good. So I know for my last couple videos I had the die face window hidden, so make sure to play that here for you guys. Okay, so we have Rob playing a mercenary list. It's standard Merc hunters. He's only running one set of weak ways, which I think in this current meta, if you're running IG, you really only need one set of weak ways, but of course IG and two sets of weak ways is really strong too. If you do only run one set of weak ways, that gives you some more options as far as taking Greedo or Onar.
Disconnect? I don't see anything popping out there for you.
Oh, I'm just they were just on my dashboard. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was just making sure I wasn't like disconnected or something like that. Sometimes my internet is trash here. How's Jared worked out for you?
I'm not a huge fan.
No, hasn't been worth it.
Not really. And well, most of the games, he's died before he's really done anything. So I'm not sure if that's just I'm not playing him right, or at least they're putting shots in him than someone else. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. How many shots do you feel like he normally takes? At least two shots, right?
Yeah, normally 3, occasionally 1.
Oh no, it's gotta be a good shot though. Well, 7 damage with the surge cancel. I guess if you roll double surge cancel, that could be rough.
Yeah.
So you can hear these guys talking about their lists here. One thing that you should note is, like I said, these lists for these guys are 3 months old, so by this time they know the weaknesses of their lists, and they probably know that their lists could be stronger. You heard David just talking about how he's not that thrilled with using Gerard. 3 months ago, Gerard was kind of a X factor. We didn't know if he was going to be a very strong unit or not. It turns out that he seems to fall in maybe the B or C tier in Rebels, so not the best unit. But you're kind of stuck with the lists you made 3 months ago. That's just kind of the rules of the tournament. It's also interesting to see Drakata. I personally really like that figure. I think his abilities are very strong, especially against Imperials. He's just got so many options for dealing either damage that's
so you deploy
cannot
first, right?
mitigate.
Oh no, you do. I've got Devious.
And he also has some very versatile surges.
Cool. No worries.
Sorry. That's why I was choosing the deployment zone.
It's very hard to get the exact. It's very easy.
No worries.
I just thought you were thinking about it.
With Drakata, it's very easy to get the exact right amount of damage you need to finish off a unit, which is invaluable against a Zilla list. He's also got a flavor of Force users with Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is a very tanky unit. For just 7 points, you get 12 health with the black die and a built-in evade. Very, very hardy. However, his main weakness is definitely his speed. 4 speed with a melee attack. He has trouble making up his points. His attack is very consistent, but very easy to play around him. Ahsoka, I haven't played too much with her, but she is kind of a powerhouse. She has an insane amount of speed. With her bigger ability, she's able to get 2 movement points at the beginning of her activation. And she has Force Jump, which is basically a move of 6 spaces that acts like a mobile move. So with that, she can move 8 spaces and attack. So she's pretty much a much better version of Obi-Wan. Okay, I will increase their volume again. Have a new follower thing. So Rob got initiative, and with Devious Scheme, he chose the bottom side of the map. Because of this wall right here at the bottom, you can see this makes it a lot easier to defend your deployment zone if you're starting at the bottom than the top does. Pretty much you can move out a couple spaces and have line of sight all the way to the top deployment zone. So the bottom, if you're running any kind of range list, or if you're
go ahead and do Hera movement.
Any kind of range
I'm
list,
guessing that starts
the
with
bottom
initiative
is
first.
always the one you are.
Yep.
David has initiative. He now will do Hera's movement with smooth landing. He'll be able to push Obi-Wan and Ahsoka out, as well as moving Drokata up. David is running 3 melee figures, but Jarad and Ahsoka are a lot more mobile than most melee figures in the game, so it will be a tough matchup for him on now HOTE.
Greedo, IG, Onar.
Rob is also running Hera list.
Weequay.
His Hera move. He's able to move all 8 of his figures.
And that's it for me.
Alright, and then Jax will come out.
If you have not played with Jarad before, he has a companion called Jax.
Perfect. And then
Jax
we'll go ahead and
blue
shuffle up and draw some command cards.
And has an inherent pierce and
good luck,
surge
man.
for +1 damage.
Yeah, good luck to you too.
He's basically like a worse version of the junk droid from the Ugnaughts. His speed is only 3, but he does have 4 health. If he ends his movement adjacent to an enemy figure, any allied figures that are attacking that adjacent figure get a automatic Pierce 1 on the first attack of their activation. And that is mandatory. Cannot defer that automatic Pierce for, say you had 2 attacks in an activation. You wouldn't.
Alright, let's go with C-3PO.
Sounds fair.
David is also running all unique heroes and rebels, which means he gets to bring heroic effort for free. What that does is every time one of his figures dies, he gets to
so he'll move.
Put 1 card from his hand of command cards at the bottom of his command card deck and draw a card from the top of his command card deck. It's very good for shuffling to get to the cards that you really want, or getting rid of cards that you may not need anymore.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
With a list
7,
like his that has
8,
kind of a wide variety of figures,
anyways,
he's
doesn't
got
matter how he gets there.
heavy weapons,
That's it for the Jawa.
force users, leaders, and spies.
Actually,
it's really good to
do you mind
have
if I put
that
him here?
option
Yeah, no worries.
shuffle through cards you can't use anymore.
Jared, let's exhaust him.
David actually chooses to go with Jared early. I don't think he's putting too much value in Jared, which he probably shouldn't. They'll probably use him as more of an objective runner this game. He is pretty mobile with 5 speed.
3.
He also has leaping slash, which lets him move to and attack.
Actually, that's up there.
So he positions him safely in the back corner. A lot of the time when you run a figure that has a companion, you forget to do the companion's action.
Double move
but
to go there.
David is too much of
Too
a
scary.
pro for that.
IG's got to go next and take that thing out.
Moves back to the middle of the map.
All right, we'll throw.
Remember that
we'll go with Gideon.
if Rob ends his movement with any figures next to Jax,
pop IG up 2 right here, and then we're going to throw a focus on Greedo here. And that will be it for Gideon.
Rob decides to focus Greedo.
All right.
I think Greedo is a great option for focus. If he gets extra range, that really mitigates his slow on the draw ability. Of course, in this game against
so is this
a lot of melee figures,
the IG with
Greedo's
the
not going to have any
on
trouble with slow on the draw.
Did not have it on him. I might not have created it on accident. Do you want me to grab it real quick?
Yeah, I was just curious. I'm not that familiar with them.
Another advantage of focusing Greedo is you will never waste a focus on Greedo. You can just throw him right into the middle of your opponents, and if he dies, he'll still get that focus shot on. Compare that to focusing a weak way pirate. If your opponent finds a way to get to them and kill them before they can attack, that focus is.
All right, cool.
Basically, it's 2 movement at the start of his turn and 5 extra health, and he doesn't get recover anymore.
Right. All right, let's go with Gideon.
Of course, the weak ways are not bad focus targets either because they have their reroll. Anytime you have a reroll, focus is good.
Order him to move.
David chooses to focus Ahsoka, who has a reroll, and Drokata, who can definitely make use of the extra range. Drokata also has lots of surges, so you're never going to waste a surge with Drokata. He has surge for +2 damage, and he also has a surge ability called Shrapnel, which lets you either add Blast 2 to the attack, or it lets you deal 1 damage to each figure within 2 spaces of the target, and that includes the target figure.
We're just gonna plop her 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. She's going over here. I don't know how many movements she's using to get there. Not much.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement to get there.
Rob decides to place his Hera in a very safe position.
And that's it for her.
This central position is exactly where you want to put your Hera because he needs to be right in the middle in case it gives you a little extra versatility, whether you want to move your army to the right or left of the map. And you always want to be within 3 spaces when you're attacking, just in case you need to use her ability to add damage or range. From the top of the map, you don't have as many options for positioning, because each of these spaces is vulnerable. David does place his Hera next to 3PO, which gives her... Okay. So he could have placed her
Alright.
next to 3PO
I will
to
go
get
with the
the
Equays.
bonus evade
So,
from
1, 2,
distracting.
3,
Instead, he decides to
4.
move her to the middle of the map.
I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and go ahead and get a hidden for himself.
David's list is a lot more close range than Rob's. So reflecting that playstyle, that's why he pushed his Hera up so far. Although it's unlikely that she's going to be within 3 range of any melee attacks in this round. Rob moves his Weequay Pirates up and hides them. They'll probably be safe for now, although Ahsoka does have, like I said, 8 movement. If she had a card like Force Rush or Urgency, she would be able to get within attack range of these Weequays. A focused Ahsoka is a pretty good chance to one-hit a Weequay Pirate.
Sorry, I was just checking out Obi-Wan real quick.
I'm thinking maybe go with Obi-Wan for now.
Okay.
With Obi-Wan, what you want to do is you want to move him up really aggressively. His pretty much the only role in the game is to soak up damage and try to get at least one good attack off.
And snuggle in there with Hera.
David does choose to place him in a relatively safe position. However, since he's not within 4 spaces of anything from there, he's going to have a hard time getting an attack off next round.
Surge cancel, same as Jared.
Yes, he has an automatic surge cancel on the black die.
Perfect. Let's roll with Onar. I think we will go.
Rob probably wants to leave his Onar in a place where he can use his defensive ability to get down with some of his other figures.
4, 5. Just count that real quick. Yeah, that'll be
Onar's get down is within 2 spaces. He can add either a block or an evade, and that's once per round. From that position, only figures he can add the blocker evade to are IG-88 or himself. Rob sees, though, that David's figures are starting to bunch up in the middle of the map, so he might be trying to support a push to the left objective. He also has the range advantage, so he probably just wants to keep his distance and try to avoid direct confrontations. David's now moving in Drakata, who's got decent range, He's also a pretty heavy hitter. He might try to take a shot at IG-88 here and flash 1 damage onto Hera, a Pirate, Onar, and Greedo.
I have line of sight on IG.
Keep in mind that
Correct.
IG-88 has a built-in block, and Onar can add an extra evade.
See, I have a built-in +1 damage.
Yes.
And built-in +1 accuracy. Alright, and it's a focus shot, so that's going to be 2 greens, a blue, and a yellow.
Sounds good.
Alright.
So this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 range shot. Drokata has a built-in +1 accuracy, so he does have range.
What are Drokata surges?
Yeah,
+2
surge
damage
for
and then
+2
it's blasting?
And then shrapnel. Yep.
You don't have any mods?
Onar should add an evade here.
I do not.
Okay, I will add a surge cancel from Onar.
Okay.
For get down.
So, just for clarification, is that when I would add in Hera's call the shots, or?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm good with not doing that right now.
Okay.
So you're adding a surge cancel? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So I'm at 3 blocks and a surge cancel.
Right.
David
Actually,
elects not to use Hera's call the shots.
Gives it blast 2.
Blast 2.
I'm not sure why he didn't, because
Miss each figure and object.
Hera is not going to get another opportunity to do all the shots this round.
Yeah, let's go ahead and make that a surge cancel.
So he should have.
So 3 block and a surge cancel.
He should have added at least a damage.
So you've
got 1 damage and a surge right now, is what it looks like. No, 2 damage and a surge because you're automatic.
2 damage and a surge. Let's make that +2.
Okay. So
David chooses to add 2 damage with his other surge. He should probably have shrapnel, because that does do 1 damage to IG-88. So that would be 3 damage to IG-88 and 1 to Onar, Hera, a Pirate, and Greedo. So he chooses to do 1 more damage to IG-88 instead of that 4 extra splash damage.
There should be a clear all conditions.
It is good to pile up damage on IG-88, but
alright, with 1 movement.
I think probably that 5 damage is better than 2 damage in most cases.
Alright.
Okay. Greedo will go.
Greedo's probably going to take a shot either at Obi-Wan, who can't fire back, or
line of sight from our top left corner to Obi-Wan.
Yes, he's shooting at Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Obi-Wan gets a built-in evade and rolls a black die.
And we will
Greedo rolls 3 green die and has built-in +1 damage.
With an automatic accuracy and an automatic damage.
Guaranteed to hit from 4 range.
A surge cancel and a black die.
A max roll.
And where'd the dice tray go? Alright.
Greedo, one of those surges is cancelled, but the other surge will be +2 damage or bleed.
So right now it looks like you block 2 and 1, so 2, 3 damage and a surge. We'll make it 5 damage on Obi-Wan.
Alright.
Sometimes it's tempting to use surge for bleed, but it's usually better to add +2 damage. Almost always.
Get rid of that and get rid of our focus. Oops. 1 more. There we go. And that's it for Greedo. He moved 5 and took a shot.
Yep. And so you have 1 person left, right? IG? Alright.
Yep, sorry, I muted myself. Just
Ahsoka. All right, Ahsoka. Let's see here.
David now has to decide if he wants to fully commit Ahsoka. It's pretty dangerous because if he goes to try to kill Greedo with Ahsoka, Ahsoka's going to be taking 4 attacks with IG-88 before he can activate her again.
And then she's going to force leap. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
He decides to keep her back relatively safely. He also takes an objective. Those are worth.
She has 4. She's going to spend 2 to pick up a crate.
Those are worth 2 when you pick them up.
And that's 2 movement.
Yeah, 2 left.
2 points. Is that right?
Yeah, 2 points and 2 movement left. Yes, sir.
And she will move 1, 2.
So she still could take 2
sounds good.
long range shots from
Is that it for her?
IG-88. Actually, because of difficult terrain,
Let's go with
IG-88 is going to have to do a move action to get
here.
over to her.
And then we will draw a line of sight to Obi-Wan at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 range.
Okay.
We will roll automatic 2, so we'll roll triple green to give us automatic accuracy.
All right.
And take a shot on him.
So,
sounds good.
Since he gets to activate IG-88 first round too, because he's getting initiative, I think it's better to move IG-88 next to the target, so you get that
How much health does he have?
automatic surge.
12.
Sorry, the automatic strain with Relentless.
Let's see, he's got 12. That's 4 damage going
If he had done a move action, he could get 3 strong attacks with red, green,
Let's be good with that.
and an automatic strain.
So 4
Instead, he's going to have to take some weaker long range attacks with green, green, green.
With the same dice.
Okay.
He probably will still kill Obi-Wan. Cool. A very strong roll. That surge is automatically blocked, so there are 3 damage going through, which would be enough to kill Obi-Wan.
Alright. Won't even have to use Hera, I guess. I'll add just in case we've got something funny going on, let's add a surge from Hera.
Alright. Nothing for me.
Okay. Then that would be 5 damage going through.
Yep. So he is toast.
When Obi-Wan dies, he can focus somebody. So he'll probably choose to focus Dracata.
Yes, that is 7.
A very slow start for David. It's really hard to come up against a IG-88 list if you have either the same amount of activations or less, because IG-88 gets the last activation of round 1 and the first of round 2, and if he can take out some big hitters like he just did in Obi-Wan, it can be very hard to come back from that.
Put 1 on the bottom. I believe that's what that does.
Yep.
David does choose to focus Dracata with his Obi-Wan ability.
Alright.
End of round?
End of round.
Alright, let's go ahead and ready. 2 cards each.
I get 3 because of Rebel High
Oh,
Command.
Rebel High Command. Yep. 3 for you, 2 for me. Sorry about that.
No worries.
David's list is very dependent on command cards.
Looks good for
He
me.
has Rebel High Command, which lets him draw an extra card into the round. He also has Heroic Effort, which lets him see more of his deck, so he's going to be getting some good cards.
So I don't have any end of round cards, do you?
His strong cards are probably...
End of round, I do not.
He probably has Force Surge, which is a Force user card. That would let him, after a Force user activates, they gain 1 movement point, and after that they deal 2 damage and a strain. That's a 2-cost Force user card. He probably has Collateral Damage, which is a heavy weapons card, which only Dracota can use. Collateral Damage is a Blast 2 that has 2 range, but you can only choose one figure that it affects. But still, 2 unmitigatable damage is very strong. I'm not sure what his other strong cards are. Got kind of interesting mix of different figures. He probably is running Intelligence Leak, which is a very strong spy card. He's going to want to play that as soon as he can to try to get rid of On the Lamb and IG-88's card that lets him reactivate. David has Take Initiative, and it looks like Rob's going to let that go through. Now the thing about Take Initiative is, for it to be worth it, you have to kill something. It's essential right now that David kill something with this start of round path. His best chance is probably Dracota, and yes, he will activate Dracota, but I'm not confident that Dracota can kill IG-88. IG-88 has 11 health, and he has Onar's Get Down, so there's pretty much no way that Dracota can make this. There are some heavy weapon cards that add extra. There's one that adds a Surge, that's Lock On. There's also, could have some cards like Positioning Advantage that would add 1 damage. There's Maximum Firepower, but I believe that's 2 actions and a pretty rare card. He is taking the shot at IG-88. It's not going to be able to finish it off. So it probably wasn't worth it for him to take initiative there, because now he can't use 3PO, and it didn't make a difference. Rob's still going to get his IG-88 activation off, so there was no point for stealing initiative there. We'll see how it works out, though.
Then we'll go ahead and we kill a Surge, and that gives us how much? 6, 7, 8, and we block 3. We take 5. We are okay with that. Yeah, we'll block a Surge.
Okay.
With Get Down again, obviously.
Yep. So that'll surge for +2. So that'll be 2, 3.
David again searches for +2 damage. I think he's underestimating
5, right?
the strength of his shrapnel ability. Again, that shrapnel does deal 1 damage to the target figure.
I believe that was just 2 movement. I think you've got 2 left.
So
yeah, 2 left.
Right.
He could have dealt 3 damage, actually 4 damage.
Yeah, for sure.
1 to Greedo, 1 to IG-88, 1 to Onar, and 1 to Hera. Instead, he deals 2 damage to IG-88.
Cards, figures, tokens. They're here. Let's see, where are they? Somewhere. Maybe
Rob's going to have to activate IG-88 first now.
What the heck?
He'll probably try to kill Hera. If he is able to get that kill, This game is going to be out of control for David very fast.
I'll just use
Maybe
this
it's in
blue.
figures.
I'll just use this blue token.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's demolished, and IG takes 1.
And he takes 1.
It's just within 1 space, right? Or is it within 2?
Each figure on or adjacent to that space takes 1.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
So actually, I will place it there. 1, 2, 3. So Greedo gets 1.
So Greedo takes 1 too. No! Don't do that.
And then let's...
David chooses to do a demolish action, which is 1 strain.
He'll take that
it's actually not an action, it's just an ability.
And then he's got
it's
2
one strain. He can place a demolish token, and that deals 1 damage to each figure adjacent to the token. It also turns that space into a difficult terrain space. It doesn't do anything since he placed it in the water.
Take a move action and pick up
No
2
extra
crates.
effect.
Take another move
But if he
action
had
here,
placed it in that space to the left,
1 more crate, and then move back 1.
right here,
So 6
that would have turned that
crates.
into a difficult terrain space. It made it a little harder for IG-88 to come up and kill Sarah.
Am I not doing this right? Control plus, there we go. And that is his turn.
David actually doesn't seem like he's in too much of a hurry to activate IG-88. I'm sorry, Rob is not. Now, David does have the opportunity to try to get the kill off with Hera. She's not a very strong attacker, but sometimes she does get lucky rolls. The other nice thing about her is she's a smuggler, so she can use tools for the job to add a red die. I'm not sure if David's running that card because he only has 1 smuggler. But if he could find a way to kill IG-88 here, that would absolutely be the right call. Actually, he has Force Rush with Ahsoka, so if she's able to come kill IG-88, that would be even better. That's a much safer play.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then she will force leap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And she will try to kill.
And it's looking pretty bad for Rob's IG-88. He absolutely should have activated it. That's actually a really big swing in this game. It was looking like Rob had this thing under control, but with this attack, this could completely swing the balance of the game.
Yep, so she'll just do an attack on IG.
Okay.
Alright, and she has
triple green, blue.
3 greens and a blue.
Cool. That would be...
That looks like 5 so far.
6 damage coming in. Keep in mind that Onar's there with Get Down. I think he actually used Get Down to block one of Kokata's surges, so I don't think he has that available.
Any modifiers on your side?
That looks like it's enough damage to kill IG-88.
So I can either reroll all of my attack dice, or force you to reroll all defense dice. Let's
looks like 5 damage going through.
No modifiers.
Okie dokie.
Hera's once a turn, right? Once.
Yeah, and it's within 3 spaces.
Per round. Yeah,
once per round.
Right. Yep, so I'm good. So no modifiers.
None on my side either. Looks like IG's done for. Go ahead and grab 12.
And Rob tosses his IG-88 aside.
Thanks, but now I think she's going to get
a huge loss.
Is there an easy way to...
Control 4.
Control 4.
Oh, wait. What do you... To do what?
With IG-88 gone, Rob's best attackers are these 2 Weequay Pirates and Greedo. Greedo is going to do a lot of work this game since he's playing against so many melee figures.
12 for kills. Okay.
Keep in mind,
she's no longer there.
Gideon still has to go, and he could focus either a pirate or Onar.
That was both of her actions, and so she's done.
Okay.
Ahsoka is pretty healthy. She has a block token. She also has 12 health. Rokata has 12 health and a built-in block. So both of those figures are relatively hard to bring down. David also still has Hera with 7 health and Garad with 7 health and a built-in evade. Jared is kind of out of the picture right now. He's way back at the terminal. So it turns out that since Rob did not activate IG-88, David does get the value out of playing Take Initiative.
Who do you have left? You have Hera,
Gideon, and Jared.
Rob was not expecting David to have any movement
7.
cards.
Not close enough.
And with a list like David's, you should expect that he at least has urgency and force rush.
I will go ahead and focus Onar.
Okay.
Gideon chooses to focus Onar. Onar doesn't have any rerolls, so the focus isn't amazing on him, but he won't waste any surges because he has surge for +2 damage and surge for +1 damage. So he's not going to flub any rolls. I think between focusing him or a Weequay Pirate, he's probably the better choice.
And he's going to tell Jared to move. And then he'll move there. So Gideon is done.
Rob now can try to come kill Hera, who still hasn't activated yet, with his focused Onar. That's probably the best play. It's always good to kill figures that haven't activated yet.
Let's go with Hera.
Instead, Rob will activate Hera.
4. And we are going to take a shot at Ahsoka here.
He moves up to attack Ahsoka.
With loot dice. 1 blue, 1 green, 1 yellow.
He moves his Hera into a pretty vulnerable position.
She's got a white.
He really didn't need to do that. I guess he's thinking that Hera can help with crates next round, but Hera is a support figure and she shouldn't be on your front lines.
Oh, wow, that was lucky.
David rolls a dodge with his Ahsoka.
That's it for Hera.
The last couple activations have been completely in David's favor. He's completely turned this game around. David still has Garad and Hera to activate. Rob has Greedo and Onar and his hidden Weequay Pirates. Rob's probably going to use all of his strong attackers to attack Ahsoka.
I'll go with Hera.
Okay.
She will move.
Since David's activating his Hera now,
shoot Hera.
It's no longer as valuable to try to kill Hera with Onar. The only reason that was such a good idea before is because she hadn't gone yet.
Okay.
Nice block.
Not as good as a dodge, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
That attack was against Rob's Hera, who rolls 3 blocks.
So you're blocking
David's
3.
Hera deals
built in?
2 damage, it looks like.
1 and the surge.
Yeah.
So I can surge for +1. So yeah, that would be 2 with 4 modifiers. I do not have any modifiers to add.
2 damage it is.
So had he taken out Hera, he would have saved himself
Finish
2
there.
extra damage.
Let's see here. Does she
So
want to
maybe not
attack?
super urgent to do that, but you know, he may have not rolled the 3 blocks, and that could have been 4 damage instead of 2. You always want to maximize your trades. That's the key to win this game.
We'll go with Greedo here. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and take a shot at Jared at 3 range. We are going to play Tools for the Job.
All right, let me see if I have anything to play.
So
okay, I'm good.
We will add a.
it looks like
red
Rob's
die
now
to the
going
attack.
to try to
So
get
we'll
that
go
1-hit
green,
kill off
red.
against Jared.
Ouch.
And we'll take the shot.
I get a
Jared
surge
is the only
cancel
figure yet to activate.
and a black die.
He has a built-in evade. So not a great roll from Greedo.
Let's see. So you're blocking.
He has a built-in
I'll
+1
go ahead and
damage.
completely.
He can surge for
We
+2.
have 1 damage, 3 damage.
So
And
that would be
bleed.
4 damage. Not enough to kill.
3 damage and bleed. Oh yeah, because my automatic damage. 4 damage and bleed actually, right? Because my auto one from what's it called. He has 7 health.
He has 7 health.
Rob might have assassin.
We'll be happy with 4 and bleed.
It doesn't.
All right.
So surge, you kill a surge, I surge for 2, and that puts me at 6 total, and you block 2, and my extra surge goes to bleed.
All right, so 4 and bleed.
Yes, sir.
Jarad could remove
I
his
was
bleed
hoping
on
to
his
have that there.
activation and do leaping slash. The bleed doesn't really make a difference.
I think that's bleed.
Yep,
all right.
looks like it.
I'm gonna actually put this on top of her so I don't forget.
Yeah, that's fine. You can add them.
Oh, you can't add them?
Or maybe that's only on the campaign?
Oh,
it's
no.
only on the campaign, I think.
Okay.
Week.
Yeah. Well, maybe they fixed that in the new update. I haven't downloaded the new update.
Oh, probably.
All right, so let's go with Jared before he dies.
Hey, I'm unmuting for a second. You can add tokens with the new update. I think maybe the last update you could too. If you want to try it, I think the command is Control 6.
I didn't download it.
I haven't downloaded it yet either. All right, so
but I will give that a try for sure whenever I do download it.
So J-Rod.
Yep. Big plays.
Let's go with this.
Nice.
Jared uses Heart of Freedom to heal 2, remove bleed, and gain 2 movement points. Not sure what his target's going to be now, but he has a lot more options. He might even pick up a crate and attack Rob's Hera, maybe?
So, if I wanted to do Ajax first, so when do I play this card for J-Rod?
At the start of your activation. What Jax activates immediately or before or after his activation, right? So you would actually play this afterward. After Jax went.
So I would want Jax to go first.
That's fine. Yep, go for it.
Move him up.
They have the initiative target
which is just a blue
on top of Rob right now.
Pierce, right?
I think David should have the full initiative at the beginning of the round.
Another friendly figure is attacking Pierce 1.
Yeah, but he has Pierce 1 too.
He has Pierce 1 and Surge for +1. All right.
Wow. Strong attack from Jax. Dealing 2 damage. That's about the best you can hope for from Jax.
Nothing on that?
I already used Harris, so nothing on that.
Okay.
He is worse than the junk droid because the junk droid can do 3 damage with a max roll.
Jared will go. Let's get rid of that condition.
But he does add Pierce to other people's attacks.
There it goes. Alright, and he had 2 movement points. And then he will do an attack against Greedo. How much life does Greedo have?
4 left.
Got 4 left.
Jared's not a very consistent attacker with 2 yellow die. He does have 3 surges that are useful. 1 for +2 damage,
Yeah,
1 for Pierce 2, and 1 for gain 1 power token.
So it's the death blow.
But against the Greedo who's already getting pierced because of Jax,
plus is +1.
that surge for Pierce 2 is useless.
He's got +3, and then he's got.
David plays Death Blow to add 2 damage to this attack, and he rolls a max roll. So that would be
no
5
and
damage.
Pierce 1 from Jax.
Looks like a good time. Don't worry about the Pierce 1. That's
Pierce
a modifier. I'll go ahead and.
However, David Rob whips out on the land.
Isn't that a modifier, or is it just automatic added?
It's automatic added. Well,
okay.
Yeah. Apply
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm on the landing.
All right.
We'll go ahead and
a very good attack that is completely negated by on the land.
Let's go 1, 2, 3.
Very unfortunate.
And then we'll pick up this crate with the last 2.
Oh, it's interesting that you can do that with on the land. Cool.
Add insult to injury. Rob picks up the crate.
And that is it for Greedo. Or that's it for that attack. Sorry.
All right. So that was an attack. I do have.
David can still give himself a power token from that attack, even though it missed.
As my attack. So let's see here. Might as well move.
I'm not sure if he did or not. It's an optional ability to spend surges, so it's not. If he forgot to do it, it's not something that you have to remind him to do.
You're all out, right?
If it was a mandatory ability, it would be the better thing to remind him to actually get it. But since it's optional, that's up to him.
3, 4 here.
Okay.
And we're going to take a shot at Dracata here with.
Rob decides to ignore Ahsoka
with double green, blue,
and focus
red.
on Dracata instead.
All right, Dracata has
Dracata's a little bit hardier with his built-in block and black die.
And a black die.
Oh, that is not the red or the blue I want to see.
And Onar rolls a club, although he should be rolling. Oh yes.
Let's see.
2 green, red.
I will add a surge from Hera to add 3 damage total with both my surges. So we've got 4, 5, 8 damage, and you block 3 and take 5.
Okay. That'll set me
Does do 5 damage, but that's not a great attack from a focused Onar.
That was not enough damage. Come on, Onar. And that's it for him.
All right. Here come the weak ways.
At this point, I still think Rob has the advantage in this game.
Let's go.
He still has his pirates left to activate, who will probably come in and try to finish off Dracata. It's not a guarantee that he'll get that kill. Dracata is very hard to bring down with that extra block.
How much health does Dracata have?
Let's see. Dracata
12, right?
Has 12.
1, 2. And
keep in mind that Rob
primary target
probably isn't hanging on to assassinate, or else he would have used it against
automatic damage
Gerard to finish him off.
Okay.
He plays primary target to add a damage and a focus.
And then 3 greens.
Not the best attack. He will have a reroll.
That looks like, so you block what I have on the side. So I've got 4, Surge for 5, 6, Surge for Pierce. So 6 and Pierce 1.
Okay.
6 Pierce 1 would be enough to kill Drakata, actually, so
I
it seems like it's
have
just enough.
no modifiers as well.
All right. So 7, right? Or 6 Pierce 1. Anyway, I think he's
6.
dead.
Yeah, it's 6.
So he's gone, and that is 9 points.
Rob takes control of this game back.
Okay.
Now the other
That was 2 movement for
Weequay
the
can.
Weequay. He'll go ahead and finish by going 1.
He'll probably try to put some damage
2.
on Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka is David's last hope. Unfortunately, her 1 attack per round is probably not going to be enough to claw him back into this game. Not going to be able to take Onar out very easily. And in order to win this game, he has to take out both Weequay
Second
pirates
one will
probably.
go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And take a shot at Jared.
He actually
On his top
decides to
left
attack
corner.
Jarad instead of Ahsoka.
We'll go ahead.
Jarad is an easier
Should be a
target.
straight line.
He only has 5 health left.
Got it.
We'll go ahead and play wild attack as well to give you a white die and to give me a red.
Rob's command deck is really
So
working out.
Jared has a surge cancel.
David has been able to use a couple command cards
Correct.
to his advantage,
I've
including
got 2 green and
Take Initiative and Heart of Freedom.
Oh, come on, red die.
Rob whips with the red die, but because of wild attack,
roll on the red. And leave yours be.
he can reroll that red die.
There
And
we go.
that should be enough
So
to
show
kill
6
Jarad.
and 2 surges. You block both surges and take 4. Is that what it looks like now?
Yep.
Let's throw down position and advantage to make
Cool.
it 5.
Rob's command cards
Okay.
are just working out so well.
That would be
The Mercenary Hunter meta has not gone away. There's so much synergy
So
between
12,
On the Lam,
21
Tools for the
fingers.
Job,
Okay, perfect.
Primary Target,
And
Assassinate,
this is no
Positioning
longer
Advantage,
focused.
Heightened
He already moved 4,
Reflexes.
so
There's
he's all
so
done.
many good Hunter and Smuggler cards.
I think that's all out for me.
Up luck also.
Okay.
We want to ready up. Looks like 2 cards or 3 cards for you, 2 for me.
Rob sits at 29 points.
Yes.
1, 2. And initiative
He's
is on my side, but you did take it. So it's actually over on your side right now. Sorry.
Oh,
and he's also getting initiative.
No, you're fine. I just forgot to move it.
Yep.
And let's see. Anything end of round for you for mission effects after cards drawn?
I'm not sure how he'll use his first activation. He probably wants to use Greedo before Greedo dies.
No.
Okay. For me, I've got, let's see, no mission effects. So let's do crates. You've got 1, I've got 2 to drop.
I'll drop this one up here.
Okay, I'll drop my 2 here and here. Okay. Initiative passes start of round. I have no start of round effects.
No start of round.
Okay. I'll go ahead and go then. I'm going to go with Greedo.
Okay.
Rob does choose to go with
take
Greedo.
a move to pick up both these crates.
Who picks up both crates?
4.
And he's probably going to take a shot on Hera.
And then he's going to take a shot at. It's got to be Hera. We'll take a shot at Hera.
This is a 3 range shot.
At 1, 2, 3 range with 2 greens.
Hera has a black
Maximum roll from Greedo. 4 damage.
Looks like you block my automatic damage.
Yep.
And I've got 3, 4, 5.
5 actually. If Rob drew
Showing about
Assassinate,
1.5.
Okay.
then Hera's dead.
Looks good for me. 5 damage.
But he still doesn't have that card.
And Greedo has 1 movement left, but he doesn't want to eat. He actually wants to hang out where he's at.
All right. Let's see here.
Rob can kill Hera and Gideon to win the game. In order for David to win the game, needs to at least kill. Needs to start killing pirates now. Needs to at least kill one with Ahsoka now. Probably a better idea for him to go for the pirate that's not within 2 spaces of Onar. We'll see if he should do that. Ahsoka needs to get a kill with each of her next attacks for David to have any sort of chance. Even then, Rob's Onar will probably kill David's 3PO, and Rob's Hera will probably finish off David's Hera. Rob's pirates will probably start to go for David's Gideon. So, doesn't look like David has that many routes to victory.
She will take. Who has gone on yours?
The only person that's gone is Greedo. He went first and shot Hera.
Okay.
Everybody else is not gone.
She'll get 2 movement points, and then she'll move here.
Okay.
And then she will
super punch somebody.
Pummel Hera.
If you why don't you go in the bottom space? If you take 2 movement points from here, you can go 1, 2 right here, and then in case Hera dies in 1 shot. I mean, you can go there if you want.
Rob is being a very gracious opponent by preventing David from making a big mistake.
That was a blue spot.
I don't think it is. No, it's not. It's just hiding right there. See?
Oh, okay.
It's not blue.
Yeah.
David can use Ahsoka's 2 movement points and then pummel to get 2 attacks off with Ahsoka.
No, not Hera.
This could potentially kill Hera and a pirate.
Green, blue.
And in fact, for David to have any kind of chance, he needs it to. So it's very nice of Rob to let David make this move. And Ahsoka's going to have to re-roll, probably. This is a very weak roll.
Sounds good.
The re-roll is only slightly better.
Alright, let's see.
4, Pierce 3.
So I've got
4, 6, against 2. Keep in mind, Onar still has Get Down, so pretty unlikely that this will kill
I have
Hera.
no modifiers, but I can. I guess it's the same to add 2 or pierce 3. So I'll add 2. Yes.
Add 2 and deal 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Yep.
Is there any reason to kill that? Search. Take 2 damage. I'm still gonna die for the next attack, probably. Nah, we'll keep it. We'll be fine with it. Onar doesn't do anything. Okay. We take 4.
All right. And we'll go ahead and attack her again. Green, blue.
That looks dead.
So that'll kill her, and Ahsoka gets a power token, so it's actually not bad that he's rolled that many surges.
Going your way.
However, it is unfortunate that he was only able to kill 1 figure with that pummel.
Alright. And she's done.
Alrighty.
Now it's just time to mop up.
Rob has so many options for finishing
Alright,
this
let's
game.
go ahead and go with...
He can either go for Ahsoka,
Onar.
or he can finish
He
off
is
Hera
going to
and pick up a crate and kill 3PO. Or he can...
move 1,
There's
2,
so
and
many
pick up
options.
this
We'll
crate.
see. Which he does go with Onar.
And then he's going to shoot Hera.
He probably should have used Onar to kill 3PO
One
or
green.
Gideon,
One blue.
since he's the only figure in range to do so. But it doesn't hurt to finish off Hera either.
She's looking pretty dead.
No modifiers.
Yeah, no modifiers.
Okay. 4.
Yep. She's toast. That'll be 4 points.
So
and that's it for him.
this should be GG.
Yes, it is.
Rob can just pick up a crate with his next activation.
Java will be picking up a crate next turn.
That's what I figure.
Yeah.
Oh.
GG's.
All right, GG. Let's go with Gideon.
GG's are called.
Let's come down here and shoot at that jaw.
No!
One,
Pot shot.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
8 range. That is possible. You could roll 3. It's possible to hit 3 damage at 8 range.
Alright. Let's go with the
Gideon's going to try an 8 range shot against this Jawa, but it doesn't matter because the weak way pirate could pick up the crate too. So.
Let's see. Use during activation to gain
Nice.
1 damage and 1
There you go.
So I got the. I was gonna use the power token.
So you need me to roll a blank, and you need to roll the 5 on the blue and the 3 on the green, and not. Yeah. Yep.
So I got a
Let's see it.
green and a blue.
Go
In
Gideon.
fact, Gideon could pick up the crate too. None of this matters.
All right, good game.
All right,
Oh,
and GG's are called.
Pick it up, but yeah.
That was a really no. I mean, Java goes and picks up a crate here.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, good
Really
game, guys.
That was super scary losing IG right there before he activated. Definitely stressed me out. I saw you drop a force rush, and I was like, oh no! I was really trying. So I had on the lamb from the first draw, and I was really hoping to bait after Ahsoka went that way. I was hoping to bait her.
And we'll let them talk amongst themselves about how their game went. So let's talk about what went wrong for David in this game. First of all, now HOTE is a very bad map for his list. With Obi-Wan, he wasn't going to be able to get much out of Obi-Wan at all. He left Gerard back by the terminal, which means Gerard wasn't going to be able to contribute till round 3. Although Greedo did move up and let Gerard get an attack off on him. Rob definitely could just sit back and try to kite. David probably should have been a little bit more aggressive with Ahsoka since he was holding on to take initiative.
Or you're probably still streaming.
Wow, sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I was just asking if you streamed that somewhere, or if you were just watching.
Yeah, it'll be up on Twitch. We're still live on twitch.com/BrettPKelly. But I'll have this video up for you guys.
Go ahead and finish.
Oh, that's okay. We've had your commentary on in the background also. But I've been talking over you guys.
So if I said anything stupid, then I look more like an idiot.
No, you guys played a good game. Both of you played your lists very well. It was an exciting game to watch. That swing at the beginning of the second round was really interesting.
Oh my gosh, with IG, with Ahsoka coming in and smacking the crap out of IG. I was just talking about how I was just hoping that I would. I had on the lamb in my hand at that time. I was going to be able to bait Ahsoka into hitting one of the weak ways with her focus.
Right.
Obviously, that didn't work out because she had a super movement to come and punch IG in the face. But
yeah, I was wondering why you activated a Jawa first.
Yeah, I went there. One, I didn't want her to grab any extra points if she decided to go for the weak way there. But also, I was hoping to bait her to take out one of those weak ways. That was the hope there.
Gotcha.
I also wanted to hold off after Drakata had already gone. Yeah, there wasn't any other figures in striking range, so I figured I didn't have to rush through it at that point. until obviously Force Rush came up.
Yep. But yeah, you guys both played well. Thanks for letting me cast this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still pretty new to the whole casting thing, so if you guys watch it and have any comments, just feel free to let me know.
Yeah, I'll give it a listen on my way to work tomorrow, maybe on my commute.
Cool. Sounds good.
You guys both have a good one. Catch you later.
All right. Bye.
Yep. Good night. Bye.
So that was Rob and David. Rob moves on to the semifinal round of the VIASL tournament. David is eliminated. I've seen a lot of IG88 lists lately. IG88 is definitely a popular figure in this meta. He's something to watch out for. He did fall early in this game and didn't quite make up his points, but you can see with all the command cards that Rob had and that synergy, it didn't end up mattering. Rob seemed to have the exact right command card to use at every particular moment. David's command card deck did not come together very well. Hummel was able to be used for good effect and take initiative, but I'm not sure what other command cards he was using, but he was holding on to a lot of command cards and not using them, which is a bad sign. He also didn't get Intelligence Leak off, or any strong 2-point cards. Did use Prepared for Battle at the end of the game, but it didn't really matter. So Rob was able to just whittle down his list early. He took out Obi-Wan before Obi-Wan could even activate a second time. Drokata could have done a little more work if he had used Shrapnel instead of Surge for +2. Drokata also, I think, should always be demolishing if he can. And usually you want to take that as strain as card damage, since Drokata does have defensive bonuses. His health is a little more valuable than cards. Ahsoka did do work, but she didn't really have the support she needed. Other than that, David's list was just the Rebel Care package, which worked out pretty well. It was a little spread out. 3PO wasn't adding evades. Gideon actually didn't focus more than once. His second action was to push Gerard up, which actually didn't matter because Gerard was in range of Greedo anyway, especially with Heart of Freedom. So Gideon's second round action probably would have been better if he had focused. Although with On the Land, that focus would be different. So Rob did have the command card advantage. He started with On the Lamb. He also had tools for the job. He didn't get Assassinate off, and he didn't get IG88's card off, so you can't completely blame the command cards. He did roll a... Actually, David rolled a dodge on Ahsoka, so can't blame the dice either. I think this was a case of both players played their lists well. I think Rob's list is the better list than David's. But that kind of happens, especially because the Mercenary Hunter list was already an established, good, tried and true list 3 months ago when this tournament started, whereas David's list is a little bit more experimental. He's using a couple of new figures in Ahsoka, Drokata, and Gerard. So this tournament was probably a learning experience for David, whereas Rob is cruising with a tried and true list. But, you know, a lot of players use these tournaments just for practice. No one really takes them super seriously. So it's certainly no discredit to David's play that he lost this game. Again, this tournament was filled with top-tier players from across the world, so just making it the final cut is... and I guess that's all I have to say about this game. I'll try to cast some more of this tournament in the future if I can, although they're not scheduled games, so I'll just kind of have to get lucky. My eye on VIASL. So thanks for listening, guys. That'll do it for me tonight. See you again soon.